Alright, today I'm working on this old Firestone Car Cooler, Swamp Cooler, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take it apart, rebuild it. I was thinking of painting the whole thing, but I really like the patina on it. It's pretty nice. And it needs the material inside to be replaced, so I'm going to take it apart and go through this with you so you can see if you get one of these, you can do it yourself. And I'll, in the links, I'll put down where I got the material to actually rebuild this. So first thing you got to do, there's 4 screws on the top here. You take those out. Drop the screwdriver. You got to do that at least once. The fun part is getting the mesh out without it getting stuck on anything. Figuring out where it's sticking and where it's not coming out. And I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Trying to figure out where it's grabbing and getting stuck. There it was, I think. That was part of it. I'm just going around and poking with a screwdriver here. There you go. And you can tell there's mice have been living in here and stuff. There's mice droppings and other things. They get in there and they eat it up. Yeah, you can see where they like to eat it. And this piece is in a few different sections where I'll show you when I'm taking it apart. This bottom inner piece is bent to hold the stuff in. There is a square nut in here. I'm going to grab onto it. And this is 7/8. Top piece comes off. There's a spring in here, and I'm assuming what that's for is when it's all together, it gives you a little push to screw everything down. At least that's the way it seems to be working for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the insides out. It looks like they did some kind of spot welding with this one. I don't want to take it apart. You might have to at the end. But right now I'm going to see if I can take the pieces apart because then I can put them back together. Mice love this stuff. You get the material, this guy that sells it, but they also sell it on Amazon. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take this nut off. There's a rod that goes through here, and it's got a snap washer on this side, so I'm just going to take this off so I can take that piece out. Alright, I need to get a pair of vice grips, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. The reason why I got to grab a pair of vice grips is the threading here is a little mucked up, and unless I can hold this rod better, I'm never going to get it off. And just to show you, hopefully you can see that. Let me get back here and look. See this rod right here? I got to hold on to that. And this might not be the best way to do this. That's the way I'm going to do it. See if I can get a good grip on it with a pair of vice grips. What I'm doing is and just unscrewing it, using the vice grips on the back end. Alright, so we have a square nut, a spring, two washers, steady. About 100 degrees out here in Texas today, but at least I got a cool breeze going through. So this is what it's a rod, it looks like. This is that little washer that holds it in. If you notice, it's got an indentation here in the metal that this washer fits on, so it comes out one way. What I'm hoping for is all the middle pieces will come out, and it looks like they will. Come on. Another piece. Come on. And then this end piece is kind of stuck because it's been in there for a long time, and the cloth is sticking to the metal. I'm getting it unstuck. Then I can pull this out. Ouch. Alright, come on. Alright, here we go. And then it's got one other piece down here. So I'm going to clean these all up. I was going to do it in stainless steel. This is plated. But you know what I was thinking? If I'm going to keep it patinaed, I keep it all. None of these parts look to be bad, so I really don't need to replace them. But you can get the same mesh, a little bit, taller, so you can cut it up to whatever size you need. It's the exact width and everything, but it's stainless steel. And I was just going to make all this new and use these couple of pieces here to rebuild it. But I don't see any problems with it's not rusting. It's pretty good plating. It's already in the shapes I need it, so I don't think I'm going to go this route. So I'm going to go clean these pieces up, get off probably got things that you don't want to know about sitting on it. And I'm going to clean it all up, clean this guy up and get it ready. And then we'll come back, we'll make the pieces to put it all back together and go from there. And see if my ideas of fitting it back together is going to work. Alright, I'm going to pause. Okay, so I decided to make the pieces in stainless. I mean, these are okay. I did see some, rust spots where the coating is eroding over the years that it's been made. And real simple, this is the main piece I made. Works out pretty good. I'm not taking any measurements. I'm taking the old piece like this, taking the stainless, and basically wrapping it around to get my size. I have a little overreach because I use it to stitch itself together, but that's basically going to be it. And I just cut it. I usually cut it about 4 of the strips past what I need, and I use those for stitching, and I'll show you that in a little bit when I get to that part. But that's about it. Take my marker, decide how many extra pieces I want to go to use for stitching. And then I'll just cut it with the tin snips. And this piece will actually do 2, because if you look at this piece and also this piece here, which is the bottom, I still have some extra. So this will actually, I'll cut both of these pieces. They're both the same, diameter, so it'll work. The bottom piece, I don't know if you can see it. It's actually got these cuts in it. And let me come over here. Yeah, so there's these cuts, and basically what they do is they turn it out and in, and basically that holds the I think they call it wool fiber that goes over this, that creates the cooling. I don't know if you can see that, if it's going to come out good, but I'll show you the piece as I make it. So that's basically mark cut. And then I'm just going to cut it down with the basically just cut it off, staying within that one line. Almost there. Alright. So basically when I put it all together and I stitch it, it's going to be about that diameter, which is equal to the piece that I copied it from. And then I'll cut these out for the right lengths to go back inside. And basically I'll just cut a row so I have an extra tab. I'll cut the one tab off and I bend that around, and it actually basically stitches the two pieces together. So I'm going to get into a little cutting and fabrication with these guys, so I'm going to pause. Okay, I want to go over and just kind of quickly show you how I stitched it together. I know I talked about it, but I wanted to show it to you real quick. Let me show you something. So once you got the piece in your size and you want to figure out how to stitch it, what I did is, if you can see this guy, he bends down, and this side, if you can see it, bends up. And when I put them together, I marked where I need them to go. When I put them together, they interlock into the pieces. Now that I'm trying to do it, it won't do it. But they interlock like this. And, you know, these go up, these go down, and all I got to do is bend them. So let me get to that real quick. So once you got them interlocked, and you want it to stay, those pieces that you, and basically what they are is the end of one of the squares. You just cut the bar off and it leaves you these tabs, and basically you just kind of bend them down. And you do that to both sides, holding it, you know, in place where you want it, and just kind of bend them down. You can bend them down by hand, you know, whatever you have. Right now I'm using a pair of needle nose because it's a smaller piece. On the other pieces I used a screwdriver to push on it. And once you get it down like this, then what you want to do is, oh, forgot one. You know, take any type of tool. I usually take my little hammer here and just kind of make sure they're down all the way. Makes it easier, so two things, it holds a little better, and you know, things aren't going to grab, but that really does a good job of stitching it in. And then when I run my cord, I run it through here because you have so much more material on the pull cord that spins it around. I have it go through this piece here, and there's so much more material to hold it together, and it's not going to pull apart. Kind of looks like that. You can see I knocked them all down. That's how I stitched it. So moving on. Alright, I wanted to make sure I gave you the measurements in case you needed to make your own basket. You bought a unit, didn't have a basket in it and stuff like that. Or you wanted to replace it, it was all mangled, I don't know. But to give you the sizes I used, the circumference of the piece when it was flat of the stainless I used here. It is was 26 inches long by 13 3/4 inches high. So this guy's, you know, about, you know, just about 13 1/4 height after you bend. Let's see if I can show that to you. Every one of these squares is a 1/4 inch out of this piece in this style here. So they have it too bent, and basically that's to hold that plate that goes here. So that's a 1/2 inch bend. When you go around, you bend it around. And what that's going to give you is a lip that that plate fits on. So you want to make sure if you got the same piece, each one of these squares are a 1/4 inch. And then with that piece that it's cut 26 inches, if you have a 1 inch overlap for your stitching, coming back to show you. You can see here, hopefully you can see that right there. That is about 4 squares, which is 1 inch overlap. So by the time you stitch it together, it is 25 inches around, and then it's going to be, you know, 13 1/4 inches high with that 1/2 inch lip bent over. So that's how you make this piece here, and I did add in how to stitch it. These two pieces started off with the same height and everything. These are the inside pieces. This one here, each one was cut at 16 3/4 for the length, and the height is 7 inches, and they both started off exactly the same. So, you know, if you go 16 3/4, you get a 1 inch overlap on for your stitching. Come out with 15 3/4, what it measures out to be for the length of it. The height is 7 inches. Same with this one. Same thing with, you know, 4 squares, you know, for stitching. That's 1 inch. And then you get, it starts off at 7 inches. Now this one's a little different. What this one has, and I've talked about it before, is it's got cuts in it so it can be bent. I don't know, like there you can see it right there. Well, there's a total of 6. There's one here, one on the opposite side, and then the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're kind of even. And then all you do, what they want you to do, I thought I had a flat spot. There it is. I had one that was flat. You're going to bend it this way, and basically that's going to hold, you know, your padding. And then you're going to bend this guy back like that, so you have a step in it. And then really you're going to just kind of bend it a little bit back in. And the reason why you do that is if you leave these little tops when you cut it, you cut that bar off at the very top, you're going to leave these little, you know, pieces, and you can actually stitch that in to the main piece, and it will fit into, show you real easy, kind of something like this, but the opposite way. It fits in there like that, and then you get them to grab, and they'll keep it in there. Basically, you know, when this piece goes down, you can bend these all the way open so they grab on to the other squares. Okay, so I've made these pieces to refit in, basically. There you go. So this is a, I guess, top and bottom piece, whatever you want to call it. And we got 2 inner pieces. Then external. I do have the new, you know, wool fiber, as they call it, some kind of matting that goes inside it. Actually, right here. I'll put in, like I said before, I'll put in the links where I got these on Amazon. And that'll be next, and put it all back together. So I bought this piece on Amazon. I'll put it in the link. It's stainless steel. It's the same thickness, basically the same pattern, the same size, which is really good. It's not too expensive, stainless, so I don't think we'll ever have any problems. This was in really good shape.
Motion detected at the front driveway.
Hey, motion detected in my front driveway. But it was in really good shape. You can start seeing some areas where maybe it started to corrode with the zinc plating. Wasn't as good as it should have been over all the years. But all in all, and I think it was this piece here, but all in all, it's I just figured I'd go. I originally wasn't going to go with the stainless, but then I decided, what the heck, go with the stainless and not worry about it. This piece here, which is the screen that goes inside, I'll probably reuse it because I don't have any stainless with this pattern that I could use. I might order some, I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that out in a little bit, but at least the internal pieces are made. I've cleaned all these up, all these pieces. Haven't done anything to them. I haven't re-zinced them or any of that stuff. Haven't figured out if I wanted to do that. Still haven't figured out if I want to paint it. That'll be the next thing I got to figure out. Because if I paint it, I'll sandblast it. You can get the decals on eBay, but I really like the patina, so I'm really back and forth. Keep the patina or make it look brand new again. So I'll figure that out as I'm going along. It's just like with this. I was going to go with stainless, and I wasn't going to go with stainless, and then I went with the stainless. So you change your mind as you go. As long as you're happy with it at the end, it doesn't matter. That's where I'm at. I'm going to take a break. It's hot. The wind stopped, and I'm going to go inside and get into some AC. Have a great one. So here's where I'm at. I'm going to put this wool fiber. It's kind of like really a straw, but I think they call it a wool fiber. I'm going to take it and wrap it around here. I've already tested it to see where I wanted it to be. And I took the excess out of this piece after I cut it and rolled it around and kind of just spread it out on the inside. I didn't throw it out, just added it. Now I got to cut this piece off. There it is. So I don't really need all of this wrap that they got that holds this together. So I'm just going to cut this off. This is what holds it all together. Some kind of netting. I'm going to take this piece and basically just roll it. And got like a little overlap there, and I got some extra of this. So what I'm going to do now I got it rolled, because I still got to be able to stick it in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some string and tie it, and make sure I got enough that I'll be able to fit it in here and then push it down. Main thing you got to worry about is you're going to get caught on all the little pieces you cut. And that's about right. Now I just got to tie it. I'm using some thicker string, and I'm just going to tie this guy together so at least he doesn't fall apart while I'm trying to put it in there. Still got to do a little trimming to get it to the right size, but at least I got that. And then hopefully, if I get everything right, this will fit down in there. And it's going to be a little chore, but basically it's going to fit in there. I'm going to try a few things, you know, a couple of deals to see if I can make it a little easier. But now I just got to trim the excess off and get ready to mount everything once I get all the pieces together. I still got, I'm zinc plating the old pieces that were inside here, re-zinc plating them, and then I'll get this all set up once I trim this. Alright, start. A messy start because that stuff is really messy. I'm going to pause while I clean it up. Alright, so I've made all the pieces out of stainless from the old cage and stuff, and I'm going to get ready to put it together. I'll show you how I put it together and see how it goes. Now this stuff, when you work with it, gets all over the place when you cut it. So, first piece, you got the piece that you went and these pieces had to be bent over. So, goes in that direction, this piece goes in first. Now, try to put these pieces so everything's just going to stick. So this is how you get these in. At least the way I do it anyway. So, because you got these sharp edges and everything sticks together. There we go. Then this one goes on and it's got to bend because it's in a U shape. Put that facing the way I'm doing it, actually doing it upside down. It goes this way. Next one is this piece here. And this piece got a flange that bends out. So, kind of show you from the original. Kind of bends out and it grabs onto the outer cage. Hopefully you can see that. So, back to this. What I'm doing is raising it up so the paper is more like a cone. Get down as far as I can. Almost there. And I might have to trim it up a little bit more, but this edge, they had it so it bent over and pushed down on it. So what I'm doing right now is bending it down and pushing it. It's kind of like that. I gotta loosen up the string I got in there. Looks like it's too tight. But that's a start. I gotta do something. I gotta grab a tool. I will be right back. Okay, so I got the string snipped. It was too tight. Wasn't allowing it to expand out, so I did that. And then show you why this bottom piece here is, or this piece here is bent. Hopefully you can see it. Kind of got a bend to it. Is when you put in this last piece, it actually bends in and holds all the stuff inside, so it doesn't come out. And it's kind of bent in a 45 or almost a 90, then bent up again, kind of like a stair step. And I tucked it in so it is catching on the outer screen. Now that I'm here, I went and coated all these. I coated them with zinc to clean them up. So you get your rod. I replaced the washer with stainless steel. It's going to go inside. See that inside piece in there? Can you see it? There's a hole for it to fit in there, and that's where it goes. So, goes all the way down, goes through the other side, comes out the top. Then here goes another washer. I replaced it with stainless. Kind of looks like a ceramic, could have been rubber. Goes here. Spring. Let me rethink that. Okay. Rubber washer. Stainless steel. Spring. Square nut. And I went and cleaned up the threads on all this. Re-zinked the spring, cleaned that up. Then what you get is this piece here will go on. Block washer, changed it with a stainless. And then a little cap nut. And one thing about this, Alright, so I gotta pull the drawstring, the pull string, put that in there so you're gonna pull it back and forth. And I tied 2 knots here. That's what's gonna keep it from slipping. And what I did was I ran a piece of wire through one of the holes, and then I taped it to the end of the cord, and I'm gonna pull it through. Until it gets to the knot. So I got one piece done. I'm going to take the wire off now and do the other side. If I find out where it starts at, there it is. Alright. So now what we're going to do is the next spot. Ran the wire through, and it's just a piece of metal wire. Now what I did is I put a little hook bend in it. This way it doesn't pull through when I pull it through the stainless steel meshing. Mess. It's a mess. Alright. let's see if I can get this piece through. Come on. Almost there. And the two knots will keep it so when you pull on the pull string to turn it, the two knots on the inside will keep this cord where it needs to be. And what I did was I ran it through where I did the stitching, so I got double screening there for more strength. Now the part is going to, let me show you, see if you can get this in the camera so you can see it. There is, oh man, you can't see it. Right there, there's two holes that the cord's got to go through. And it's not really a direct, I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a channel that's got to go down and come out through the top. So basically the same way I ran the wire, I'm going to use the same wire, run it through this way, attach it to one of the cords and pull it through. And this way I can get the cords through while I insert this. So, if you think of it, what you do is, I'll run the two cords, that's why I've made it extra long, I can cut them later. I can run the two cords through, have them come out to where they need to be, and then drop this in. I just got to make sure that I get one cord around one side and one cord around the other, because that's what's going to pull this through the water. So, this guy here, I'm going to stick it through one of the holes. And try to feed it through until I can get it. And there it is. So then, use this guy. Same thing I did before, I'm going to tape it. Pull it through. Do the other one. And that allows me to get the white cord through there. Come on. Come on. And be able to pull it through and actually have it go through the two little spots that are there for the cords to go through. So, one down. One more to go. Alright, just make sure you keep the cords, one going one side, one going the other. And feed it through. The hardest spot is getting it through the hole, and then ripping it from the cord like that. Alright, try it again. too much tape to get through the little hole that's there. If I can tie it a little tighter so there's not so much bulk trying to go through the hole. And almost there. Well, hopefully I got less bulk this time and I get it through the hole. No. Goes. Yeah, too much bulk on it. And now, next step is to drop this thing in there. Keep those pieces, one on each side. So I'm kind of pulling them while I'm dropping it down. And got it, right? Testing it. There's one. There's the other. Alright, so what I'm doing now is lining up the holes. Gonna put screws in, and that's gonna be it for now. I do gotta cut the cord down. Yep. Got my flat blade. And you can seal it. I'm not sealing it right now because I'm still deciding if I'm going to paint this or not, or just leave it patinaed. So as far as I'm going to take it for now, because what you got to do, the water level comes up to about here when you fill it. On the back here, there's a little tiny hole, and that's a drain hole. If you get to that far and it starts leaking out, that means you got enough water in it. But it needs to be sealed or the water's going to leak out of here. So this would be the orientation. You'd have this inside the car. One side goes and pulls it, flashes it through the water. The other side pulls it back. And that's about it. I mean, fresh air comes in through here. I still haven't put the screen on yet. I'm going to do that in a minute. But, I'm going to take a break because it's about 100 degrees out here today. Okay, so I hope you learned something. I hope I was able to pass a little knowledge, you know, on how to rebuild these guys. It wasn't really that hard. I mean, it's not something I do every day. Just took it apart, figured it out, and decided I'd pass the knowledge. You guys learned with me. So, one of the things that I did put the screen in here. If I can show it to you. You can see that. See that screen? If you see right behind the screen, there's a bar. You can see it right there. There is a slot in that bar. There's a slot in there that the bar that this whole thing rides on goes in. Earlier I missed it when I was putting it together. When I pulled the string, it actually was turn it the right way. When I pulled the string, it was actually had a little force to it. Now it pulls real easy. Oops, unless I'm stepping on it. It pulls real easy, which that's what you want. So if it pulls hard, harder than what you think it should, check to make sure the end of the rod, there's a support for it that it goes in at the very end, right by the screen. And I missed it the first time. And it did work, but it kind of worked. Now it works a lot better. So, hope this helps you. If you ever want to rebuild one, they're not that hard. You could keep the old basket and put in, just replace your material and go off on it that way. I did find this is a cap for a gas can that fits perfect, because I did not have the original cap. It didn't come with it. But I think I'm going to keep it in its patina state. It's a little scratched up, not too bad, but for as old as it is, heck, I gotta say it's probably 60, 70 years old. It's in good shape. But it's gonna go into my 56 Beetle, which is 2 years younger than me, and I think it'll look cool. I hope in the Texas heat we have a lot of humidity, so I'm not expecting a lot out of it. I'm more looking at the cool factor and that it's going to work. It doesn't leak, it's going to be good. So, hope that helped you. Have a great one.